Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth. My pronouns are she, her. Welcome to my Flosstube channel. This is Savory Sewing. You can also find me on Instagram at Savory Sewing. Flosstube channel is a YouTube channel where folks talk about their cross stitch, what they are stitching, what they want to stitch, what they want to buy for stitching, all of those things. So welcome. Today is September 8th, Sunday, September 8th, 2024. This is Flosstube 31. I have some FFOs and a finish, I think, maybe 2 finishes, and a bunch of whips. No haul, a lot of plans. So let's get started. The last video was like August 25th, so to wrap up August, just some August stats for those folks who like to track all the things. I'm one of those people who likes to track all the things. In August, I stitched on 23 days, 14 different projects. I had 4 new starts, 4 fully finished objects and finishes. And so I'll pop in a picture here of all of my 4 finishes, some of which I've finished since my last video, so you will get to see them here. So let's start actually with the first one, which, excuse my reach, go over in this pile. So the first thing I finished since I saw you last was this. This is by Sprouting Lupine Designs. This is called Twilight Nature Walk. And I finished mine. I stitched mine. Oh, mine is upside down. Let's try this again. It's early. I've only had like 3 sips of coffee. This is how we're going to roll today. Yeah, I stitched mine with all the called for DMC, but I put mine on a very different fabric than the called for. This is Grey Mauve Lugana from Zweigart. I feel like it's got a very twilighty look to it, and I just really love the purple. And yeah, excited to have this one done. Have you seen the, should you call it Haunted Nature Walk, or I don't know, it's this, the Halloween one that just came out. I really like it. I think I might stitch it next. Yeah, they're all so good though. They're all so good. All right, I think my next finish, oh, this one's gonna be a little bit of a combo finish new start because it's an ongoing project. So I'm working on the 2024 Stitch for Pride sampler by D's 20 Stitches, and I'm stitching mine as a full spot motif sampler. Some folks are stitching theirs individually, and some folks are stitching them all as one big piece. And so I finished, since I last saw you, started and finished actually the August piece. So let me show you the whole thing, and then I'll show you what I worked on. So here it is, all as one. This is, I think, it's Elegant by Fortnite Fabrics is the fabric. It's either 36 or 32, I can't remember. I'm stitching it 2 over 2, so I'm pretty sure that means it's a 32 because I usually don't do that on 36, but and I'm stitching it with all the flosses that were dyed by Knitting Nurse Jasmine KN Yarns for this project. Isn't it beautiful? It's so beautiful. So what I did last month, so here's the August motif. You can see that. And here's the floss that was dyed. And so so all of the motifs in the sampler are based on a different queer artist's work. Dee has reinterpreted them to make them suitable for cross stitch, basically. And this is Hangama Amiri was August's artist. And so here's the floss. And again, here's the pattern motif. And then since while I have this out, I did start September's. And September's is this tiny little piece here. It's going to be a series of these triangles going across. These represent shark's teeth. The artist who is being honored, I think it's an honor this month. This is the floss. And they're a native Hawaiian artist, and their name is Lahua Uakea. They're based on the Big Island, and they use a lot of shark's teeth motifs. Sorry, I have a dog and we say teeth a lot. Shark's teeth motifs in their designs. So that should be a quick stitch too. And then we're only after, let's see, October, November, December, only 3 more after. And then we're done with this lovely, lovely project. All right, so those are my 2 finishes. I've got one more small start and finish. So I was watching Maria the Green Stitcher. I was binging through videos that she has on her channel last weekend. Had a nice long Labor Day weekend. I took Friday off, so I had 4 days off, and I did a lot of stitching. A lot of relaxing, a lot of laying around the house, and watching Flosstube. So anyway, I was watching Maria the Green Stitcher, and she has a whole video where she has stitched Mill Hill Christmas ornaments, which I'd never wanted to stitch a Mill Hill Christmas ornament before, and now I want to stitch all the Mill Hill Christmas ornaments. So thank you. Oh, sorry, my phone just decided to tell me that something's happening today. But I don't have any Mill Hill Christmas ornament patterns, but I do happen to have quite a few Halloween ones. So while I was watching her, I pulled out this one and stitched it and finished it and fully finished it last weekend. So this is Bewitching Pumpkin. Isn't it so cute? I love it. Look how cute that little witch is. That's like, I don't know, 10 random stitches and some back stitch, and look how good it looks. So yeah, so thanks, Maria. I have another Halloween ornament for my tree, and I have 2 more Mill Hill Halloween kits in my stash, so maybe I will pull those out. This only took me like, well, it was a long day of stitching, but maybe a day and a little bit. So, okay. And now for the big fully finished object. So in my last video, I showed you the frame that I found at Goodwill for my Dark Queen of the Earth. And my goal last weekend was to get her fully finished before her 2-year start birthday, which was September 1st. September 1st, 2022 is the day the stitch along started, and I got her FFO'd on last Saturday, the 31st. So, oh, she's also heavy. She's a big girl. So here she is. Sorry. Oh, the ring light. We're just gonna have to live. We'll try to get the ring light in the top corner. So she's fully framed in this gorgeous frame I found at Goodwill for $9.99. Steal of the century right here. You're not gonna be able to see her as well because of, I think, the glass and the glare. But if you want to see a close-up of her in all her glory, my last video or on Instagram is a good place to go see that. But yeah, so I laced her. It took me 3 of Maria's videos to lace her. It took me about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I think, to lace her. And then she's in this frame, and I put some brown paper on the back, reattached the same hanging things that had come on the frame, and she's done. So excited. And she's already hanging on the wall. Oh. So if you didn't know, that is Dark Queen of the Earth by Autumn Stitchery. I don't think the pattern is available yet unless you had purchased the stitch along. I don't think they've released it. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks, but I don't think they have. But so those are all of my finishes and fully finishes for the last 2 weeks. That's not true. I have one more FFO. Good thing I put it right here so I'd remind myself. This little guy. This is the freebie MidSummer Stitch pattern that came if you attended the MidSummer Stitch, which was hosted by Lindy Stitches. The virtual retreat that was in June. And I just popped it in this. This is a 5x5 frame I got at Michael's. I laced it, put some paper on the back, and it's done. I don't think that one will probably ever be available because it was something that came with the virtual retreat. But it's super cute with a really fast stitch. All right, let's look at my whips. So I don't have a ton of whips because, well, I had a lot of finishes. And some of them got a number of days, which is nice because that means I got a lot of progress. So reaching again, because everything is in piles around me. WIPGO last month, one of the pieces was this. This is Vintage Ladies, or I call it Vintage Ladies. It is from is it World of Cross Stitch magazine? Is that correct? Of course I don't have it written down, because why would I do that? Anyway, it's from a magazine. I have the digital version of it, and I think it's pretty sure it's World of Cross Stitching. And it's based on artwork by Siobhan Harrison, and then somebody at the magazine, I presume, charted it. And I've been working on this for a long time. This was a WIPGO call last month, and it got 3 days called, so I worked on it the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th. And here is where I am. I actually got a lot done. I don't know if I've got a photo where it was before, but I know that I'm pretty sure I just had this lady's skirt done, and I stitched a lot of this rug and her legs. This rug is, this is solid stitching. So this took me way longer than I was anticipating. And then I gave her some feet, and I worked on her bodice, and she's got arms. And I think I might have done a little back stitching over here, but I don't recall. I did change her skin color. I just Googled, actually I Googled like Mirabilia skin tone conversions, because I know that there's a lot of those out there. And then I looked at the colors and picked something that I thought would look good on this pink fabric with, you know, all these colors that are here. So I'm pretty happy. I think she looks nice. I can't wait till she has a head, and then we'll really know. Also, I think it's charted already with like dark hair, so I wanted a skin color that looked nice with the hair, so I didn't have to pick too many new colors. This is stitched with all the called for DMC, and this is Sakura Lugana from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. I think it's 32 count. And I'm so close to having this done. I keep thinking I'm really, really close, and then things like this. I mean, this took like hours. So maybe it'll get done by the end of the year. But it's already gotten 6 days this year, because it's been a WIPGO call, and it's been called twice. And I got another extra bonus day in July for Christmas in July stitching. So I don't know. Maybe Christmas 2024 finish. But if not, that's okay. All right, so that was one of the WIPs I worked on. And then I pulled out this. This is Greenhouse of Oddities by Lola Cross Stitch. This was a stitch along last year. I'm sure many of you have seen, a lot of folks are stitching and just finished up, I think. I think the last clue dropped for the Haunted Aquarium. I think it's Haunted Aquarium. It's the beauty. You've seen it. It's all over the Instagrams. Anyway, this was last year's, and I absolutely love it. Let me show you what I've done. I spent, I think, all day Sunday last week stitching on this, and I got almost all this lady put in, and then finished this, and I think that's mostly what I did. I love this so much. It looks so good. I know a lot of people stitched it last year. I'm late to the game, but love it. All the called for DMC, and this is 16 count. Picture This Plus Alchemy Ada, which I think is perfect for this. And it doesn't come out of the key snap. I love this. Look how good this big flower looks. I think I'm missing the fill-in color, but oh, so good. So good. So my goal is to finish like everything between like these two pieces. There's like going to be another vertical here of the greenhouse before I move on to the next part of the pattern, excuse me. So that's WIP number 2. And then WIP number 3 I pulled out because I would like to get it finished. Well, isn't that why we pull out all of our WIPs? But I went to an acorn gathering at the Acorns and Threads in, I think, February. And this is the pattern that was part of the retreat. It was a 1-day retreat. The designers were Fox and Rabbit, and this was their pattern, A Gathering of Acorns. I started this and have not finished it. I'm also not going to stitch the whole thing, but I thought maybe I could get it done before I go to the next Acorns retreat, which is this Friday. So it's Sunday. I've got 4 days to finish this. I don't actually have to finish it, but this is where I am. I've stitched those little acorns at the top. I'm going to not stitch the whole thing. I'm going to add, there's like a little squirrel and then the words Acorn Gathering. If you follow Katie Peacock Stitcher on Instagram or watch her Flosstube, she's finished hers. She put the words acorn gathering here, I think, and then the little squirrel. And I'm going to do something very similar because I don't want to stitch that house. This is Hog Bristle Linen by Fox and Rabbit. And the flosses are Classic Colorworks. So I'm hoping I can get that done in the next couple days. I think it'll be possible. It's not too big. Ooh, and I just dropped that and something fell out of the bag and went flying. Oops. All right. So those are all my WIPs. So I didn't work on a ton of things, but the things I did work on got a lot of work. Plus, fully finishing always takes more time than I want it to. But lacing, I mean, I wanted her to be laced very, very well. So I spent a significant amount of time. I'm sorry, I'm pointing to my dark queen who, you know who I'm talking to. My BFF down here on the floor. So not to cut into stitching time. And my phone is blowing up over there, but that's my work phone and it's a Sunday, so I'm trying to ignore it. I don't know if you didn't hear that, just ignore me. But let's go through plans, and then I don't have any haul, so this will be maybe a short video. I don't know. Sometimes I'm extra chatty. Maybe not sometimes, maybe always. Anyway, let's talk about WIPs. So it is now August, and the August WIP code number, no, it is now September. Wishful thinking that it's still only August on my part. And the WIPGO calls were 4 and 11. And those are, for me, oops, shoot. Oh my goodness, I'm falling apart, folks. Falling apart. This pattern, this is Autumn Flowers by Owl Forest Embroidery. I bought the floss pack for this a million years ago when I started it, so like probably 2020, 2021. And I'm stitching it on this fabric from Mystic Fabrics in the colorway Please Scream Inside Your Heart. And this is where I am. So this is basically a quarter of the pattern. I think this is the middle. So there's still quite a ways to go on this. And this is going to get 3 days this month as part of WIPGO. So that is my first goal project for September. Obviously haven't started yet. My second WIPGO call is what I'm calling Fall of the Patriarchy. And so this is a combo pattern from a stitch box that I got from Cotton and Twine in like 2020. And then a pattern I bought on Etsy so I could have the phrase that I wanted, which is my favorite season is the fall of the patriarchy. And I'm going to get this done this month. This is a WIPGO call for a finish. And I think it's very timely to get this done. And so this is where I am. I decided, if you noticed, this is repeated in the original pattern. I'm not going to repeat that. I am just going to leave it as is and then add the words, and then it's going to be done. And I don't have very much left to do. This is being stitched on the kit Ada, which is 16 count cream something, and then all the provided DMC that came with the kit as well. So I think it's going to be really cute when it's done. So definitely a finished goal for WIPGO, and just, one of those things that needs to get finished. I have 2 new starts planned for September as part of my 24 and 24 new starts. And oh, that reminds me, I did not actually start both of my August planned new starts. They were supposed to be a Scissor Sampler by Talent Emblem, which I did start. And then I had Needle in Hand by Hello from Liz Matthews kitted up, which was an Acorns and Threads exclusive from a retreat from a few years ago that I have. I decided that I just didn't need to start it right now. So it is just tucked away, ready to go for whenever I'm motivated to get it started. I wanted to get other things done more than I needed a new start, which I don't feel like is always the case. So maybe that's a small win, but I'm really happy that I got 3 full days on Vintage Ladies and I got my Dark Queen, fully finished. So I figured I'll start that someday and it'll be fine. All right, so my 2 new starts for this month are this one. So I don't have a paper pattern of this at all. This is from Tiny Modernist. This was a Patreon pattern, or is a Patreon pattern, is. I think you can now actually, if you join her Patreon, she's got everything in like a little shop, so you can buy previous Patreon patterns, which is new. Anyway, this is called Autumn Night Garden, yeah, by Tiny Modernist. And I have pulled a piece of fabric for it from my Be Stitch Me haul from last month. I'm going to stitch it on this dark purple. So this is now just called Be Stitch Me Dark Purple Linen. I don't know what the count is. It's either, I think it's 32 or 36. I don't know. It'll be fine. So I'm going to stitch it on this, probably with all the called for DMC, which is what I've got here in my bag with a couple, looks like I pulled a couple classic colorworks because I think I'm missing the DMC for the border. So I just tried to find something similar. But yeah, I'm going to get that started. Super cute. And then my last planned new start, which I'm sure there will be more because I am going to Pinwist this weekend, is this. This is my very last Bird Crush Club bird that I need to finish. This is American Goldfinch. Look at that little birdie. By Lindy Stitches. And so this was a club that I think was last year? It was either last year or it was 2022. I can't remember now. And this is my last bird. I have it kitted up with what looks like a piece of vintage country mocha and the DMC. And if you've not stitched any of these, they all, when you were in the club, they all have one Threadworks that came with the club, and also some stickers and some fun stuff. So I think most of Mr. Goldfinch is in this really bright yellow Threadworks, which is called Mellow Yellow. It's so bright, it's glowing and not showing up well on the camera. But so I'm really excited to have, to finally be done with the Bird Crush Club. My goal is going to be to start and finish this guy this month. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's going to be the goal, or at least by the end of the year, because it'd be nice to put a pin in that. And then maybe pass all 10 of those birdies on, 12 of those birdies on to somebody else who might want to stitch them. All right, so I have 2 or 3 other plans that I want to work on this month. It's September. My plan at the beginning of the year, at least, was that September would be to work on fall things, which I think seems reasonable. And fall is going to, I didn't pull any Halloween stitches, but you know, basically after 4th of July, anything goes Halloween wise. But I pulled some very specifically fall things that I want to work on this month, with a couple that I want to really want to get finished. You've seen a couple of them. You saw Gathering of Acorns, you saw Fall of the Patriarchy, and Autumn Flowers. It was just actually luck of the draw that those also were the WIPGO calls this month. So that was kind of nice because they fit the season, and I'll get them done, and I can cross things up on my WIPGO board, and everyone's going to feel good about themselves. That's what we need. We need more high self-esteem stitching around here. All right, so this is a pattern that I started last year. There was a stitch along for this as well. I believe this has got the Morbs by Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery. You can get this PDF on his website. This was inspired by a meme that was going around, that I believe the story is that Miriam from Ruby Crafts posted it on her Instagram or shared it, and Jacob saw it and then like designed this in like a day and then released it for all of us to stitch. And so I think I started it like September, I feel like it was like September 19th of last year. We're going to go with that. And I worked on it for a little while, and then I have not worked on it since. I'm stitching it on, here, let me show you what I'm doing and where I am. So this is 36 count steel by Fiber on a Whim, which is this gorgeous green gray. And I'm stitching it with DMC. I'm pretty sure this is 413. It's real subtle. And I tried to pick a place where I would stitch it mostly on the green so you could really see what was going on. I believe this is 1/2 on 36 count. And while I love it, it is hard to stitch. So I need a nice sunny day. And maybe my old lady readers. But I want to get a little bit more progress on this month. I started this when we were at the coast last year, so I'm planning on taking it with us when we go in a couple weeks and getting some more stitching done on its start anniversary and the place where it was started. And oh, while I've got it out, look, I'm gonna show off the patterns in here in this project bag that I made. This is a Teresa Kogut pattern that was on her Patreon a couple years ago. Isn't it awesome? I love those witches. I wish she would release this. It's so good. But I turned it into this little bag and got the Morbs. Is the honored project that gets to live in it. And then I got one more plan project to work on, and then, you know, things will probably come up. This is a freebie from Maximum Cross Stitch. You can get this on, I'm assuming you can get it on the Maximum Cross Stitch website. I know you can get it on the Evertoe website, which is where I got it. And it's fall is greater than summer. And it says fight me. And this is where I am. This is on Panettone, a little piece left over from the 2022 holiday countdown box that I had. So by Roxy Floss, and I'm stitching it with Roxy Floss. And I'd like to get this done this year. So this is high on the list of my very overtly fall. I was kind of surprised that I had so many like very much fall patterns that weren't like Thanksgiving or pumpkins or turkeys, you know. Just kind of, for whatever reason, my fall patterns seem to fall into the subversive category of cross stitch. Weird. Anyway, okay, so those are all my plans. I am going to Pinwist this weekend. I'm going up Thursday night, and it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The designers are Beth Twist from Heartstring Samplery and Teresa Kogut. So I know I will be getting 2 new projects. I hope that I might start them. I don't know. We'll see. Most of the things I realize I've gotten at, well, the 2 retreats I've been to, which is not very many. I've actually never stitched the whole pattern. I've just stitched pieces of them. So we'll see if that is also the case with these 2. And I'm sure there will be some haul because there is, I think, one night a stitching event or a shopping event that, you know, we have run of Acorns and Threads. And I'm not sure if there's other vendors. I've never been. I have decided what my small is going to be, but I'm not going to show you. I'll take pictures or something and have it on my next video. And yeah, those are my plans. The immediate plans for next 2 weeks. It's next weekend will be all stitching all the time. I'll try to take some photos and maybe some posts on Instagram while I'm there. We'll see. Yeah. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. And I hope that it was also really hot here again. So I'm hoping wherever you are, if it is fall, that it is actually fall-like and not 99 and 100 with wildfire smoke smog that is making your eyes burn. Yay, Oregon. Yeah. So anyway, thanks all for watching. Hope you're doing well. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Happy stitching, folks. Bye.